Hey guys, what's up? It's Romeo Ballion with Love Struggles Books. Today I want to talk to you about a scene that has haunted me from the age of 7 until 35. When I was 7 years old, I was playing doctor with a boy in a neighborhood, and we thought the door was locked, but it wasn't, and my mom burst into the room. And when she saw what was happening, two little boys playing doctor naked, she went into a rage and beat me violently. So violently that it traumatized me, and it really has shaped who I have become. There was so much commotion going on. My uncle came into the room and didn't know what was going on. He asked my mom, she told him, and then the next thing I know, he was beating me. And this little boy is crying in the corner, naked. After they were done with the beating, they told the boy to get up and go home and tell his parents what happened. And I was crying hysterically, and my mom puts my head on her lap and tells me she doesn't want to raise a faggot. From that moment on, I've equated rejection to love. I felt that I was constantly chasing after my mom's love and affection and approval, but all I kept hearing was that God was displeased with me, that I was an abomination, that it was a disease, it was a sickness, I can be helped, I can be changed, I need to go pray more. I was even told that, gay people should be shot, killed, and burned at the stake. Now, all of these memories for a child's mind is too much. The brain doesn't fully develop until the ages of 25, and children are very egocentric, and they make everything that's happening about them, and that's exactly what I did. I made this about me. Something is wrong with me. What is wrong with me? I hated myself to the point that I tried to kill myself by downing a bunch of pills. I didn't know that I've held on to this scene, this is a scene where I got stuck. I've replayed it over and over in my head because I have equated that when someone finds out about who I am, they're going to hurt me. That's why people hide in the closet, because you see evidence of that. A scene before I tried to commit suicide was the Matthew Shepard story, where two boys lured him away, pretending to be gay, and violently killed him in an open field and left him there to die on a fence. That was a fear of mine. Knowing that my mom could do this to me and strangers can do that to him, it's just a matter of time. So let me just go ahead and end my life, because if I'm an abomination, I'm a disease, God doesn't approve of me, the one person that I want to love me is my mom, and she doesn't, because every chance she gets, she's telling me, verbally abusing me in a sense, emotionally abusing me, psychologically abusing me. I went on to recreate the scene of me pursuing something that I love and being rejected by it. I went off to the gay scene and thought that these people would accept me. Then I started being rejected by white men who didn't want to try a black, or no blacks, or no niggers. In the gay community, this was happening to me. Then the next thing I knew, I was pursuing dance, full of rejection. Me going after an audition that I really, really wanted and not getting it. But I always related it to my mother, her rejecting me, me going after something that I love, and I was not good enough. I was not worthy. I wanted to show her that I could make it. And she never wanted me to be a dancer. She laughed at it. She said, I'm wasting my time. Once again, my mom's rejecting me. Finally, I met my husband. The first day that I met him, she said, this is the one that I want you to be with. I don't approve of your lifestyle, but if you're going to be with someone, then be with him. Next thing I knew, I was chasing this man because my mom loved him. And I loved him too, but I knew from the beginning that me chasing him was a setup. He was still in the closet. He didn't have the emotional capacity to truly be himself, so I felt rejected unconsciously by him, obviously, because he didn't have it to give. Then he was battling substance misuse, so he was unconscious, mostly part of the relationship, and he was always going to choose the alcohol above me. So I was constantly in a scene chasing someone who couldn't give me the love and emotional support that I needed, because he didn't experience it for himself. He was going through his own childhood trauma. Even when we would break up, my mom and him were still talking. I felt violated, abandoned. You're supposed to be my mother, and you're talking to him. They felt more closely connected. She was more there for his coming out than she was there for mine. But I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, chasing after people who could not show me the love that I needed and I wanted. because my mother was never able to give that to me. I spent 35 years asleep to my pain, asleep to my rejection, deeply afraid of rejection because from the one source that acceptance should have come from, my mom, it didn't. Half of you guys might be asleep to your story, to the scene where you got stuck, to the pain that you still hold on to that nobody knows about. You consciously move around and you think that you're creating this life to free yourself from that pain, but you're actually creating a life around that pain. And there's instances, friends that show up, relationships that show up, jobs that show up, occurrences that remind you of that thorn that throbs on the inside of your subconscious. The brain does not fully develop until 25. Trauma reorganizes every memory and experience, compartmentalizes. You become your experience that you got stuck at because you don't want to experience that again. You try so hard consciously not to create it, but on a vibratory level, like attracts like. I attracted my husband because he reminded me of the emptiness of my mother emotionally. Great guy, great person, beautiful soul. But anybody who uses a substance as a crutch to feel, something is broken. Just like my mother. She was so hypnotized by her own abuse and her own relationship with my father that she was emotionally unable to give me what I needed. And I'm not saying that she did these things on purpose, nor about my husband. People give you the best that they have to offer you, but it's okay to let yourself know, the world know, and say it out loud that that simply was not enough. That's not what I needed. Although I understand why you gave it, you thought you were doing the best that you could, and you honestly probably were doing the best that you could, but that's not what I needed. So let me express that to you. But I realize now that I wanted to express it so that I could have my feelings validated and give myself permission to heal. But sometimes you will never get that apology because one, people are not accountable. Two, they don't know what they don't know. They can't show what they don't know. And some of them don't know how to deal with the reality that this happened and they were a part of this story and this interpretation. Healing is not about an apology. It is recognizing the source of your pain and choosing to no longer pull from it. I no longer want to run away from my rejection and my fear of rejection. Fear will make you do one of two things. Run towards the things that scare you or run away from them. I was running away from them and trying to create a life around them and protecting myself. It does not work. Then my husband's family was homophobic and rejected him and rejected me. And I think we're displacing and projecting their fears onto me. They didn't treat me really well. They didn't even try to get to know me. That was more rejection that I didn't know how to deal with because the source of my rejection, I couldn't even come to a conclusion about or handle. I left that relationship. It was too much to bear. But now I know that that relationship with my husband was the reason why I woke up to my pain, my deeply rooted pain, the scene where I got stuck at, the scene where I needed liberation from. Healing is not about the sorry, because some people can't give it. It's about recognizing the source of the pain and saying that instead of me running away from rejection, which I fear because I equate it to my mom and I equate it to love, I'm going to run towards it because I know that rejection is a part of life. I reject people all the time. When I don't buy an outfit, it's because I don't like it. Rejection is just a part of life. So how can I run away from something? I was even trying to screen my friends and make sure you're safe, and I felt comfortable because I needed to control and manipulate the outside world because the inside world was full of pain and unpredictable and full of reaction and unmanageable. So if I could control the outside, I can make peace with the inside. But now I know it's the other way around. You have to make peace with the inside by addressing what triggers you from the outside. You have to move towards the pain so that it can bubble up and be released. Relax, release. Relax, pass through. This journey is not for you to suffer. It's for you to wake up to your pain and wake up to yourself. As I always say, guys, it all starts with you. Be gentle, be kind, and be loving towards yourself. Follow me on YouTube, Love Struggles Books. Like, share, and please leave a message and let me know how you're doing. God bless you. Unlock the scene where you got stuck and find healing is not through an apology, but from no longer pulling from that source and creating a life from that source. God bless you guys.